Well, just want to say welcome to everyone on August the 3rd for our first of the month elevation call. And what was that, Judy? I could see her holding up her fingers. This is actually the 4th of the month, but it's the first elevation call of August. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm not always oriented to the exact date, but I kind of know where I am. And I knew it was Judy's birthday yesterday, so we're all good. And we just got off a really exciting call with Marsha Smith, and I'm probably going to put her on the spot here because Marsha's been an amazing member of our team since last January. And I love to tease her now, but many of you guys know Marsha is one of my holistic nurse coaching peers, and she's ahead of me in the program. And we met really kind of through that platform. But I'll let you kind of hear from Marsha as to kind of why is Elise for her. But we had a beautiful meeting tonight with her first gold enrollment. And so, Marsha, do you mind just jumping on, telling us just a little bit about that? Why is Elise for you? And tell us a little bit about why you're excited.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Okay. Why is Elise for me? Originally, it was for my own health and well-being. I wanted to try the products, and then it morphed into, upgrading, seeing that the product was legit, and just coming to all the trainings and these calls and just seeing people's testimonials and just absorbing all the information and the science, and then it switched to the belief that I could actually, go out into the universe and help people with these products. So I feel like I kind of did it at a snail's pace, um, as far as like getting, customers to sign on and et cetera, et cetera. But I just kind of left it open to fate, if you believe in that. And through a mutual friend, got hooked up with a gal named April, who's an amazing woman that's, has her own really incredible story. And I hope someday she'll come on one of these calls. She just learned about it today, so I don't know if she's going to show up today. But anyway, so she's all gung-ho, and she's said, yeah, I'll sign up as a gold. And I about dropped over in my chair because I was not expecting that. And that's like, oh, okay. Now I got to call Lisa because I got to figure out how to help her the best, right? And so that's why we had a little call a little while ago, because she signed up on July 31st. And then now I'm hoping to get her in a fast track and, get doing things differently than the way I approached it, because she's actually in a mental space that I think she would excel if I can help her at the best of my ability. And with Lisa, and hopefully if she can get on these calls so the team can support her and, show her that it's valid, and it's something that if you feel that's your purpose to educate people and help them with their health, it's really a great platform. So, and of course she wants to make money and not have to work all of her life and support her family because she's a single mom. So anyways, that's the story. So it's all good.
It was beautiful. And, all of you guys, you can feel the passion when you finally meet someone who really, really needs what we have, not just the product, because she's had an incredible product story. She's on Vibe and she's had great results. And this is a licensed massage therapist. So she's a health worker. She was originally training to be a nurse. And just the words she said, Marsha, were just very empowering. And she's very excited about the platform. She's ready to dream big. And so just Marsha, knowing that, your question has always been like, when am I going to find that person who can really partner with me in Buffalo? It's exciting to see that happen. So I just wanted to say kudos to you and to you guys. And I'm excited to be on the journey with you both.
Thank you.
So anyways, you guys will get to meet April, and she's amazing. Just very, very passionate person. And she was enrolled just at the end of July. So before we move forward, I want to just kind of recognize end of July month end enrollments, starting with Kayla Malone, who is number 10 in Pennsylvania. The Todds, number 6, finished the month of July. Kudos to leadership by example. Marsha, you ended at number 4, which kudos to you. That's pretty amazing. And then Dr. Fetcherow is Kayla's primary care provider, and she's been really building a team under him, which has been beautiful. We'll have her talk about that sometime. And then somehow Hal and I got number 1, at least in the US region. So that was exciting. Yay, yay. And then in terms of personal volume, we have Peggy Grawl from Kentucky, number 24. Ronnie Nunn, number 23 from Kentucky. Judy Baker, you're number 19. Whoop, 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 from Illinois. And Susan Everett, 18. How fitting is that? And then Pat Poole from Arkansas, 17. And then Helen Henson, my mother-in-law, at number 11. And so I just wanted to kind of say shout out to all of you guys who are working diligently. Some of you guys are just building your funnel and haven't really been able to close people yet on wholesale enrollments or on business kits. But keep the noise level going, because that is just like with Marsha and her goal, that will happen. It's a matter of the number of conversations that we're having. And so I wanted to kind of share some thoughts with you on just some observations that I've had. And one of those observations, I want to see if you agree with me on this. Because we always think about, we're looking for people who believe like we do. We're looking for people who are looking for health outcomes. We're looking for people who we can help. But what I've seen in this business space, it's not what you believe. It's what you can do to influence others to believe the way you do. And that's a much, much more challenging feat, if you will. And my observation in making that happen is that when you can lead with love, that it is the most powerful way to build this business. And it's really taken me years and years and years and years to be able to see and appreciate it. And as I was thinking about this call and just this a very intimate platform for the people who really care to build and connect. I wanted to read you guys some thoughts from a book that came from a recommendation from Brian Johnson. And welcome, Hal Henson.
Hey there.
And this is called Love 2.0, Creating Happiness and Health in Moments of Connection. And it says, love, as it turns out, nourishes your body the way the right balance of sunlight, nutrient-rich soil, and water nourishes plants and allows them to flourish. The more you experience it, the more you open up and grow, becoming wiser and more attuned, more resilient and effective, happier and healthier. You grow spiritually as well, better able to see, feel, and appreciate the deep interconnections that inexplicably tie you to others, that embed you within the grand fabric of life. Just as your body was designed to extract oxygen from the Earth's atmosphere and nutrients from the foods you ingest, your body was designed to love. Love, like taking a deep breath or eating an orange when you're depleted and thirsty, not only feels great, but is also life-giving, an indispensable source of energy, sustenance, and health. When I compare love to oxygen and food, I'm not just talking poetic license. I'm drawing on science, new science that illuminates for the first time how love and its absence fundamentally alters the biochemicals in which your body is steeped. They in turn can alter the very ways your DNA gets expressed within your cells. The love you do or do not experience today may quite literally change key aspects of your cellular architecture next season and next year. Cells that affect your physical health, your vitality, and your overall well-being. In these ways and more, just as your supplies of clean air and nutritious food forecast how long you'll walk this earth and whether you'll thrive or just get by, so does your supply of love. And that's just kind of from the intro of the book. And I wanted just to recognize really all of you guys, because you wouldn't be on this call if you didn't really lead with love. But I want to recognize Steve and Jenny Todd because of the way that they live and they lead and they have built their business based on love. And just two things that I wanted to recognize. I saw Dr. Steve has created some pretty amazing reels. I don't know if you guys have seen his reels that he's done some on sleep and melatonin. And I'm like, it's very professionally done. And I was just like, wow, those guys, they are, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I was just very, very impressed with just the level of professionalism. And I know Jenny wasn't the one that produced that. So they have sought outside of themselves for expertise and guidance. And then the other thing I noticed was on Facebook, I saw Shannon Toland, who's pretty much the one who runs the lease, and her whole family with the Todds. And I'm like, Susan Everett was just there, and now Shannon Toland. And I'm like, the Todds just kind of love on people and anybody who goes to the beach. And so I wanted to first recognize them for just, sticking out through some of the toughest times in business, but just the consistency in how they lead with love. And this book that I have been reading really made me think about them even more. And so I asked Jenny if she would be willing to share a little bit about their mindset and philosophy and what drives them. And she said,
she's got a tough mindset, I can tell you that right now. So she is Jenny's made a special sauce, and she can reach down and grab that extra energy and that extra amount of things that you need to build this business with. So she's my inspiration, and a big part of what we do together in this business is to, share information, and we care about other people. We really do. And I have to tell, Hal's here. So Hal's been an inspiration for me, because look at the meeting. How many guys are on this call? Very, very few. So my point is that through this time, I always say, okay, Hal's on the call and I'll be on the call because he's the guy that's on the call, right? I mean, there's not many. This is not a guy-driven business. It's a woman-driven business. So my point is that Hal's been my inspiration. He still is, and for what he does in this business and what he does privately and professionally also. So it's just an honor to know him. That being said.
Well, I was humbled when Lisa texted us today, and then I called her and said, what would, expand on that? What would you like us to do? But, she just wanted us to share how we, I think, just love people, treat people. But I first would like Steve to start with his thoughts on this, because this is something that Steve and I this just comes naturally to us. So I don't know. It's nothing special about it. It's just who we are. We just love to help people. It's something that Steve is always in his practice in treating patients. He just always wants to help people. And do you want to just give your little few thoughts on that? I've got some notes here, y'all. I had to get my thoughts organized because y'all, this just comes natural to us, and I didn't want to forget some things. So I wrote some things down. So it won't be a dissertation, but just hang in there with it. It's all right.
Well, I don't know what else to say. It's been your inspirations in the beginning of this business are not what they are now. We've been in this business several years. What we started off in, wanting to make money or whatever it is that inspired us to get going in the beginning is not the same now. So there's a growth process you go through in your life. If you stay with this business. Now, some people don't, some people do, and it's not a judgment whether they do or don't. But the issue in the whole thing is to be able to grow with it and understand it more, because as the leases has, they have a technology, and it's sort of hard to grasp that technology versus what's the difference between this hemp and another hemp. You sort of go, okay, it could be all the same as far as we know, but it's not. And so that's what grabs me more than anything, is just the fact that when you think you've you don't know what this stuff is. You don't understand the science behind it. You don't understand the products. And then, Zalisa will launch another product and go, okay, well, here's a new one. So they're always trying to, from the beginning of this, when Stephen was in charge of it, now when Christy and the crew's in charge of it, we've always been innovators. And I like that. So I've always appreciated that about Zalise. And now to know corporate people, the folks that are changing the company as we speak, they're just fine folks. And glad to be a part of it.
Okay, well, I'm going a different direction, okay? Because when Lisa called and told me this, I got the impression, I want to share with you all. I mean, we just love people, y'all, but I want to just talk about just little things that I do, and maybe these are some things that could give you an idea, or I don't know how you just treat people, but we've always wanted to help people and always love helping people. So I'm going to have to refer to my notes here, guys, but we've always wanted to help people physically, mentally, and socially, and I treat people the way I want to be treated. I like to make people feel special, and there's ways that you can do that. You can just listen to people. They don't want to hear what you have to say. You listen to what they have to say. Make people feel important, like you really want to hear what they have to say. And when you meet someone, or you just come up across someone, just walk up to them and stick out your hand to them and just say, hi. I say, hi, my name's Jenny. I don't think I've met you before. And you just start a conversation and you just build a friendship. And then just one thing goes to another. Particularly, we go to a lot of chamber meetings here just to meet people. And the people that are standing in the corner off by themselves that are not interacting and engage with people, that's who I go to. They're my go-to. I just go up and I say, hey, my name's Jenny, blah, 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 why are y'all here? What do you do? I just want to make people feel important, make eye-to-eye contact with them, smile, 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 smile. People in this world are beaten down, just with life and stress and job and everything, so just always have a smile on your face. I try to always smile, always make eye contact, and I always say thank you. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to the waitress at Cracker Barrel the other morning, just got up and just thank you. You did a great job. Just really enjoyed being here. Just thank you very much. And I like people to know that I respect their time. Keep your word. I keep my word. If I tell somebody I'm going to call them, if I tell somebody I'm going to be there, even if they don't show up, we're there. Just people need to feel respected and not taken advantage of. Just do what you say you're going to do. I love to send cards, guys. Text messages don't get it. I love to send a card to people, even if it's a patient, and I'll send them cards. I send Hal and Lisa cards and just thank them for what they do for everybody on this call. Text messages don't get it. Cards are just have such a personal effect. They get to see your handwriting. Y'all, that's something visual. People see that, and I took my time to do that, and I just want people to know that they're special. So again, I love to touch people, hug people, love on people. We don't get that anymore today, guys. Everything is just so cold with technology and texting, and hug people, hug people. I hugged the waitress the other day. Thank you. You did a great job, Anna. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But, our society is not going in a very good direction. People just don't touch. They just don't have that personal touch anymore. So that's another way that I love people. And I'd like to give you an example of church this morning. There was a lady that sat in front of us. I'd never seen her before. And I always want to make a point after the service. I tapped her on the shoulder and I go, "Hi, my name's Jenny. I don't think I've seen you here before." And she goes, "Well, this is my first time. I'm just checking church out." And she just smiled. We smiled at each other. You know, I just asked, "Well, where are you from?" You know, you just start a conversation, be interested in, I was really interested in what Denise had to say, where she's from, why she's here. I just want to make her feel special, you know, because if nobody said anything to her at all, that wouldn't have been a very good impression of people in our church. So just don't be afraid to talk to people. You know, people are more afraid to talk to you. They're just as afraid to talk to you as you are to them. So just be bold. And I just stick my hand out and say, "Hi, you know, how you doing?" So I don't know.
I'd like to say for Jenny, and that's been a transformation over time. So that didn't happen, you know, 7, 8, I don't know how many years ago when we started in with Elise. That's just a transformative effort on her part, our part, to because if you're gonna reach out in this business, you got to be transformative in the way you approach people and look at people. You can't be in that mindset you had when you first started in this business, because this is a mindset business, meaning you don't, it's not something you can't do or shouldn't do or whatever. It's just that it's a people business, and it takes a transformative mindset to be able to stay with it more than anything. You know, if you don't have that, and that's probably the biggest reason people just sort of fade away over time, I think, is they just, you know, everybody's different. Some people want to change, some people don't want to change, some people like it, some people don't. It's not for everybody, we get that, but we have special leaders, and we have 2 right there.
Yes.
And they are very, very special in our hearts, and we just not going to do anything that changes that. So we want to be a part of their life, and whatever journey we're on, you know, it's okay. We're just I never really have any preconceived notions of where I want to be as far as financially or for even with people. I just know that we just need to be on this journey with them, and that I know. So other than that, I'm not sure I know a whole lot more to do. I know one thing: I'll never ride a car because you can't read my writing. Okay, I've been one of those doctors that really been guilty of that through the years. So I even had the pharmacist call me and say, "Hey, what did you just write?" So I get that. So
Okay.
anyway, thank you.
Well, we went longer than 10 minutes probably, but you know, I hope you know that just registered with some people, you know, and you know, I don't know, Lisa. There we go.
Mhm.
What's
Do you have anything you want to say? Anything? Hal just got here from his meeting, but I want to get any thoughts that you would have as well.
Well, no, as you guys are sharing, and I love it that Lisa had reached out to you all. I think what prompted that was that we saw pictures of Shannon and David and their 2 kids down there with you guys. I'm like, look at that. Well, of course, it's the Todds. You know, it's like, why would Shannon and David go anywhere near them and not go hang out with the Todds? Just because who wouldn't want to do that? And they probably, honestly, knowing Jenny, she's written cards to Shannon and expressed gratitude to her over the years, and invited them to Sunset Grill many times, like they do us. They're constantly tempting us to make that drive. I kind of know how you work, Jenny. That's what you do. It's so when I saw that, and Lisa said, "I want to just have them, you know, honor you guys," but the point being that I think maybe Jenny has, Steve, as you said, had to learn the practical part of expressing love and appreciation and interest in people. The practical part, how to do that in effective ways, she may have had to learn. But I think it's very clear that she has been filled up, both of you, for many, many years with that kind of love for people. It's just how you express it in ways that people can receive, appreciate, and you guys have grown in that. And then that also reminds me of what you read this morning I think it was in our morning reading together where you talked about, really the only thing you ever ultimately get to keep, the only things you'll ever keep in life is that which you give away. And if you give away love, that's what you will get in return. If you give away in your life appreciation, if you give away a listening ear to others, if you give away your time to others, that's really the only thing you ever get to keep is that which you give away. And I think that was in our reading
Absolutely,
today.
yeah.
And I think Steve and Jenny demonstrate that. And it's the kind of, that's why they are where they are with this company. That's why they are with their own practice. That's why they are in their community. Oddly, I reached out to someone who's doing shared housing in Florida, an hour and a half away from Steve and Jenny, because they're possibly looking at trying to find a partner or to change what they're doing with their shared housing in the work that we're doing with men. And they're in the Fort Walton area. And it turns out they know Steve and Jenny, and Steve and Jenny know them. And I'm like, well, of course they do. Of course they do. They've met them. They're a patients of theirs. It's an hour away. And so, we get lifted up all the time by you all as leaders who are leading in the right way. And we want to lift up Steve and Jenny, who are leaders who lead in the right way, in the way that people want to follow and connect with. And so if you can emulate a leader, emulate means not just learn from, but kind of become like them in some ways. This obviously, many of you have already recognized that Steve and Jenny are that kind of people. And you know what? We can all become in some version of that ourselves. Every single person can. So,
Well, and I think, obviously the takeaway for me, you guys, is I look at you guys as what I want to be. And I started this journey in direct selling, thinking it was about educating everyone on product benefits, that I had this moral obligation to share information. And what I now know is that information is important, but nobody is going to be open to information if they don't feel that love first. And so just being able to lead with love, having been the recipient of Jenny's wonderful notes and gifts, you just feel her love hanging out with her when you're on the beach or whatever. The way she just strikes conversation is not just because she's trying to create conversation, it's because she truly cares about people. That is really what, to me, makes the biggest difference in this business. That is ultimate. It's not about the money, as Steve said. It's not even about the goal of how many people. It's really about the person that you become in the process of that. And for that, Steve and Jenny, you guys elevate my game all the time. So I just wanted to say thank you for all that you do, from Facebook Reels to the Advisory Council, from the Patriot Program, the sleep practice, all the things that we see in social media, and Jenny's amazing cards. You've done that for our entire team, and we are truly grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, I think that's all I know. Well, so I have ADD sometimes. When I'm tired, it comes out big time. So, last night I learned some new lingo from my 18-year-old daughter, and at the same time, I took a guy with me to a meeting this morning who's 61 years old and has had a lot of life struggles, and is doing really well. But when he talks about somebody doing something really good, that means they hit, like they really hit. I don't know, that's the language. They really hit. That really hit. And I've used that before, but my daughter, the language is she's eating and she left no crumbs. That's the new lingo. She ate and left no crumbs. And Jenny and Steve, when it comes to loving people, they really hit and they really eat and leave no crumbs. In other words, they're doing it well. And that's some new lingo for y'all.
Thank you guys very much for just being who you are and inspiring us all. And I think everybody agrees that you guys are really an inspirational duo. And we so appreciate you guys. And so really, honestly, thank you for sharing your inspiration with
Absolutely.
us, both of you guys. I know that probably is not exactly what people expect, but honestly, if we can just emulate the Todds and all that we do, and obviously set our own goals and intentions, just like when Marsha and I were on the phone with April, and her goal is to enroll 3 golds in the month of August because she came in as a gold, and remember the new model is 3 golds in month 1 and then 1 goal every month thereafter. And we're going to help those golds enroll 3 golds. It's the duplication model, and
it's the duplication model that one pays for the gold,
right,
and 2 builds a foundation upon which not only you can build a team, but anyone who comes in at gold who wants to build a team. It's that duplication model. And so we're just being reminded of that now and re-engaging with that. And I just want to say, I'm kind of coming late, I want to say congratulations to Marsha on that enrollment. That's the word persistence is fitting when it comes to that enrollment and even Marsha's role in that. So anyway, I just wanted to say
absolutely, for sure. And just as a reminder, we did find out that the $129.99 Vibe special for new enrollments is still in effect in August.
when you say that, it's for auction.
It's for auction.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you enroll somebody with any of the kits in the month of August, you can enroll them in the $129.99 auto ship this month as well, which we didn't know that. I know Kayla and several others were doing some business, and we all had questions about whether we have to get them in now. And Barbara, I think we were talking as well, and sometimes that can feel a little complicated because you can't necessarily really enroll them as a wholesale customer with just Vibe. We have a $99 option. There's like 10 of them to choose from, but Vibe is not one of the options. So if somebody really wants Vibe, what we've done is we've done bronze with topical for $2.99, and you can get a Vibe, get somebody in, and then they can and carry over for the $129.99. So just wanted to make sure you guys know that. We'll be hearing more, obviously, on what the specials are for the month. So stay tuned to that. But just wanted to say thank you guys for all you're doing. And sometimes the self-development is really the best benefit of doing this type of business. I can tell you just off the record that, little dive into corporate America has been a really good thing for me because I now recognize how far advanced every single one of you are as a leader, leading with love.
Yes. So hey, let me just say this. Lisa's return to corporate America, literally at one of the highest well-known corporate entities in the world, Walmart, and engagement with others. And honestly, it's been a great company for many years, and it's employed, well, millions of people. Yeah. Okay. But every single one of you who have been with our team and been in Zalise, the aspects of the self-development that you have grown in personally, literally would, if you walked into a place like that, or really anywhere else to be employed, you would be at the top of the group as far as your personal ability to communicate with people, with your mindset, with your perspective, persistence, those things. The things that we have learned here and the things that we see about you, and I wish everyone that's ever been on our team could hear this. But literally, your greatest benefit, you might think, is that it's your health. But over time, I believe it's the person you are becoming as a result of being involved in a business like this with people like the Todds and others, even us. And so we have seen that since Lisa's returned to that setting where there are wonderful people, but they need what you guys have already gotten. Many of them need what you've already gotten as far as self-development. Even some of the leaders there need that.
No, especially. I think Susan Everett once caught me on a return from at the end of work, and I was talking about slapping people, and she was asking me if it was people that report to me, and I'm like, no, no, no. I've got 25 people that report to me, and I love them. It's the person above me I wanted to slap that day. But Jenny, I always remember you talking about, just you and Steve in practice, and how really it was very competitive and it was very dog eat dog. And so the community of love, collaboration, personal development, teamwork, all the things I feel on this call, whether there's 6 people or 25, is what makes my heart just feel that love. And it's very hard to find in the world. And I'm grateful for an opportunity to kind of go back to kind of brick and mortars and corporate America, just to say we have grown in leaps and bounds in this platform. And we might not be at our income goal, but kind of the talents and the assets that we've developed inside are precede that business success. And I want that for everyone. So
Last thing I'd say, just practically speaking, as things are beginning to pick back up with Zalise corporate level, and things are kind of being worked through literally on a weekly basis. Christy is Klinger is at corporate level, is really very intensely working the court systems and just the system, the process that you have to go through to make retain these changes that they have wanted to make. So to that point, what I want to say is the freedom calls on Monday night, I think are really important for you. If you can, either watch it live, be on it live, or if you can't, it's available to listen to, because as in the weeks that come, more of that's going to be taught, revealed, emphasized. Um, just it's significant now if you're wanting to build business and build yourself. And I think the freedom calls are moving in that direction week after week, which I'm grateful for. So just a kind of a plug for being on the freedom calls on Monday night at 8 o'clock Central. So that's all.
awesome.
Okay.
So guys, that is really all we really planned. And if anybody has a question or a comment, anything else they'd like to share, I'm here. So unmute and shout out.
I have a question.
Well,
Yeah,
okay,
Marsha.
go ahead.
It's about this, the VIP wholesale, where they have the 10 products, but Vibe is not one of them. What if they choose their product and then they do an add-on? Does it
That's
come
a
out
great point.
as 129?
So how much is the wholesale price of Vibe not on auto ship?
159.
So here's the problem. So 99 plus 159.99 is just, they're getting into the 200s, and they're just a wholesale customer. And so you absolutely can add Vibe on. But I have found that $2.99 for topical and Vibe is actually a pretty good deal. If they do want Vibe. So it's a great combo, and it's just a little bit more than what that option would be. Does that make sense? And they get 10% as a bronze. So for anybody who kind of leans toward, maybe even wanting to, get money paid for referrals, or however you want to call it, the bronze to me is just a little bit better deal.
So, but it's a better deal, but you can add it, but it's going to be 159. It's the auto ship that's the 129, Marsha. So that's the difference, is that the first order, even at a wholesale price, is 159. That's why choosing it in the bronze makes it, you get a lot more potentially if you have any interest in sharing with other people with a bronze kit, because you can earn from it. And some people have to say flat out, absolutely not interested in earning. But even those people sometimes come back later and say, well, I might be interested in earning. And so that would have been.
So the numbers are, to get a VIP kit, which is 99, and then add the 159, it's 258.99 versus 299 for bronze. So it is a little bit cheaper, but just another option. So good question though. Does that make sense, Marsha?
Mhm.
The other way, if honestly, if money matters and they're not like in a suit, they didn't have Vibe last month in their life, so they could come in at VIP 99, go ahead and set up their auto ship at 129, and that's going to come in next month.
Yes,
And
Todd.
so whatever you start them with for 99, hopefully you'll give them a feel for like maybe you know, a berry or something like that with just strictly CBD. Give them an introduction there, or a topical, or what are the other options. But make sure the focus becomes when, you know, the auto ship is great in many ways. And right now there's a special for Vibe, and that can start in your first auto ship next month. So that's an option as well.
Yeah.
So
Start with ultrasound and then
now I will say from a business standpoint, and again, we're all loving and caring about those people, but from a business standpoint, so, for example, you go to a restaurant and you order your favorite meal. There's a reason that they put the meringue pie in the case right in front of you, not for them to keep it and throw it away. They want you to buy that extra. They want you to buy it because they're going to make money and you'll come back. So, just to remind all of us that, you know, you make more money when someone buys, you just do. You make more money. The company pays you more when someone buys a bronze kit. So this is what Bo teaches. Start with gold. You get paid more for that. It's a better deal for them in the long run, then silver, then bronze, then VIP. And on each of those, you get paid more for the time that you spend with them and setting that up. And honestly, that's a part of what we're doing is we're building an income stream or to be paid for our time with the people that we work with. So you don't press it, but do keep in mind that it's not just about giving them the best price. It's also about you generating income.
And then really in closing, I'm going to have Hal share just some sad news from our
Yeah.
team.
So we got a call Thursday or Friday morning, early, actually a text from Lauren Lynch. And some of you may have already heard this, but her mom, Cindy Alvarado, who many of you may know from our calls, passed away during the night. And she had a number of team members, some of you all who've traveled to some of our events. Lauren, especially in the South, Lauren and her mom, Cindy, have traveled to many of our events. But Cindy passed really suddenly in the night.
July 31st.
The 31st. So just on Thursday, I guess. And so, you know, we're working with them and helping them through that grieving process, as well as some of the business things that they have to work out. But keep Lauren, her family, in your thoughts and prayers. And of course, Cindy is just, you know, she's been in the direct selling industry a very long time. And when she teamed up with us with Elise, she came to us through like, you know, through my contact, you had a contact, you had a contact. And so she was like, you know, down in the line, but she made herself like very well known among us. And so that's a loss. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you all and just be praying for that family. So
I have a question.
Yes, Kayla.
Just a comment. I found out, and this is just working with my PCP, older folks, 50s, 60s. It was easier for me to start them. I'll do it this the next time, but I ran into a problem with a lady having persistent headaches because I put her on the Glow for the VIP. Going to switch her over to Vibe on her auto ship. And I'll be reluctant with some people to start them out on Glow because it's not as easy to dose as with the Berry Ultracell. And they can just do 1 drop, 2 drops. I can get more finite dosing with them, but she did not do well on the Glow with the powder packet. And I know Lisa she taught me well way back in the beginning. And anybody else, I don't know if it's a tip, if it's somebody a little bit older and you don't want to like blast their endocannabinoid system with not a finite quantity. I'm going to be using the Ultracell oil to get them enrolled and then switch them to Vibe on their auto ship. That's just what I found out in the past couple of weeks with working with my primary care physician. Just
That's a good
little
point.
little tip that I just wanted to share.
Thank you, Kayla. And I learned from Dr. Todd that the liquids they do cross the blood-brain barrier, which make them very effective, that really there's no patient that can't absorb the liquids. And so if there's ever a question, especially if there's a lot of pharmaceutical medications and things, it's very, very tough sometimes for them to really get good absorption with some of the powders. At least that's been my experience. And then there's others that, do extremely well on it, but generally they tend to be younger. So good point. Any
Well,
other
a
thought?
good thing I spent a lot of time with her in the beginning, because I could have lost her. She could have said, I don't want this. It's causing me too many headaches. I don't want to try anything else. But I still have her, and we'll see what happens now. But
Good deal. Way
Yeah.
to pivot. Nice job, Kayla. Any other thoughts, questions, comments? And otherwise, we'll give you 15 minutes back in your night. All right.
Night, everybody.
Good night. Happy birthday, Judy. Judy, unmute. I can't tell what you're saying.
Okay. I started a lady on Vibe 3 weeks ago, and I saw her about a week after that and asked her how she was doing. And she said, well, I'm afraid to take it. And I said, why? And she said she had taken, and I told her to take the small dose, not to take the full dropper. And she said she had an occasion where she felt lightheaded, and she's got a lot of health issues. And I didn't know if, I told her I was sure it wasn't the Vibe and encouraged her to get back on it, but maybe just take it once a day. Has anybody else had any kind of problem with taking Vibe and it having an adverse reaction? Do you know?
Let me
I would-
comment on that real
Oh, yeah.
quick,
There you go.
because I think that's a misconception that, these are cannabinoids. They're powerful.
Okay.
There's no second guessing this technology, and you need that when patients or people start with this, have started off light with the liquid. Powders you can't titrate. You can't get it fine.
Right.
And so you're right on track with that.
Okay.
But to think that, if you take a Tylenol, you could have an adverse reaction.
Yeah.
Okay, you take an aspirin, you can have an adverse reaction. This is
Right.
not something that will create adverse reactions to people. There's thousands of research articles that are about cannabinoids. And unless you overdose with 2,000 milligrams, which nobody's going to do, there is no reaction to this. So my point is, there's something else going on there besides just the cannabinoid, and don't blame it on the cannabinoid, because it's
Well,
not,
I
it's not.
felt pretty, like I said, she has a lot of health issues, and I felt confident enough with what we have to tell her that I was just positive it wasn't that, and to back down on the dose and just take it once a day instead of twice a day. So I'm going to check back with her this week, see how she's doing. But I just wondered if anybody had anything that connected, but that was what connected it to. But I'm hoping she'll go ahead.
So let me give you an example of an older gentleman who's taking care of his wife, okay, who works all the time. He drives her everywhere to every doctor's appointment, is on high alert all the time because of her health. All right.
Right.
He's had some physical pain, quite a bit of, just personal things. He's in pretty good shape. He's in his 70s, right? I think late 70s. So when we set him up, we encouraged him to take no more than 3 little drops of Vibe. Okay. His response was, it really made me relax too much. Okay. I didn't it's kind of slowed me down. That was his response. My response to him is, when was the last time, honestly, that you have slowed down for anything, considering your wife's health, all the things that you have going on? You forgot what it feels like to relax for a minute and help your body restore, relax, pause. And so these cannabinoids likely have gone in and helped your body do that. And you're literally not used to it. And so, again, I suggest that he go down to 1 dose, 1 drop, just if he's concerned about the feeling of not being able to be is on high alert and stressed all the time that he was. And so I don't think that's a interpretation of what was potentially for him, his quote, pushback. He wanted to stay on like super high alert and stressed because that's just how he used to living.
The other thing,
that's
Judy, I would
healthy.
say, I would ask her just when she's dosing it, when is she eating? Because one of the things we know from the patents is it does help stabilize blood sugar. And so if she like hasn't eaten and she dosed with the cannabinoids, it could really facilitate a little bit more of a lower hypoglycemic
Okay.
state, just
Okay.
I just those are the kind of questions that I always like to say, tell me how when you're eating in relation to when you're taking these.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, we start with 1 drop once or twice a day, and we can titrate up from there,
Okay.
just so
All
that
right.
they feel like they're in control of it. But all good questions. So thank you
Okay.
for the comments.
Thank you,
Dr. Todd.
everyone. Thank you.
The other good thing, Lisa, is like, for example, when Jeff started on the ultrasound, when we first started, he was on 2.5 blood pressure medicines. So he was getting lightheaded, take his blood pressure, it was a little lower than normal. But I said, check with your doctor and see if you can cut this in half, your blood pressure medicine in half. Because this is obviously bringing your blood pressure down, which is a normal thing, which is good, but he was double dosing between the prescription and the oil. So he called the doctor and said, yeah, split it in half. If you need it, you can split it in a quarter. And he's off all of them except for either a quarter or a half of one.
Wow.
So the other thing would be is I would tell her to check her blood pressure. And if her blood pressure is normally high and she's on blood pressure medicine, to check with her doctor and see if she can tincture that down a little bit to see if, just to find the right dose. That would be my suggestion anyway.
That's a great one.
It'd help Jeff.
Yeah,
Good,
this is Kayla. This is Kayla. I agree completely with Deb. I think perhaps just me with the vibe, with the CBC combination, be a little bit careful with people who may be on hypertensive, hyperglycemic meds. I think they should start out slowly. That's
Yeah.
just my
Agreed. 100%. Good, really good conversation.
Yeah. Good notes for me. Thank you. I'll be
Yeah.
talking. Thanks.
That's the benefit
Finding
of
the
having
right
a team.
combination.
Yeah.
I love the team. Thank you guys for just, being part of this team. And it's a beautiful thing. So that's what we're all doing, is just building teams. And then somebody in corporate America is going to try to recruit y'all. Just saying. Just say
Hey,
no.
Lisa, hey, Lisa. Yeah, I'd like to go back to your comment about glow seems to work really well with younger people.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that?
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for that, because I really like glow and I think it works well for me. So I really appreciate you putting me in that younger people category.
Well,
Thanks a bunch.
Hey, anybody who shoots in the mid-40s on the ring golf is a younger person. I'm just telling you.
that was me who mentioned it, and anybody that's in their 50s to me is young. So
And 60s. Thank you. And
Hey.
60s.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
the other thing on top of that, Susan, not just youth, but cleanliness, like people who are not on pharmaceutical meds. So I don't know if you heard my whole description, but we'll put you in the young. Look how young you look.
She got teenage skin. Look at her.
Dang, Susan, you're looking younger every single time I see you on screen.
You all look that
It's
way.
it's
I'm
that
amazed.
Lachey stuff she's taking. She's
That's
using.
right.
Oh, you guys, I have such a funny story, and we could talk all night, but many of you guys know that I love line dancing, and I teach at a senior center
Do
here
you
in
really?
Farmington. Hush, Hal. He's making fun of me. And I have a lady who just turned 81, and she has 67 different hats that all coordinate with the color of clothes that she wears. She is
Mhm.
absolutely the cutest thing. She's been on Glow and Shield for like 2 years now. And so when she ended up with 700 star reward points, I started recommending Leger for her. And now she's bringing all her very dear, sweet senior elderly friends to me and asking me about Leger. And so it's just, it's just a beautiful thing, Mary Jane.
I know what you're talking about.
She wanted to stay after class and introduce me to Shirley.
She also wanted to stay over to get a hug from Hal.
I know that
Yeah.
was a whole different deal. But it's cool that you can take these star reward points, and I think seeing your skin like mine, not yours, Susan, but just mine, really,
Hey.
really shows the benefit.
Hey, ladies, I heard this past week that there is a particular mushroom that acts like Botox.
No,
Do you have to inject it?
No, you eat it. It's a mushroom. No,
Now there's some mushrooms that grow out of cow patties out in the pasture. Is
I
that
don't
the
wear-
one you rub on your face?
Mm.
I don't care how if it works. I don't care.
Oh,
Never-
goodness.
I'll
Well,
let you know when I find out. No, it's a
yeah,
real
keep us
good
posted,
nat-
Kayla.
Yeah, no Botox. Just rub this mushroom. Yeah,
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to hearing more about that.
yeah. Me
Well,
too.
listen, guys, here's the love. Love each one of you. Thank you so much for being on and for inspiring us all. And I'll see y'all tomorrow on the Freedom Call.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Night.